So this is your background information. Again, your name and MPI number appear at the top of the screen. All of these questions must be answered no, and these relate back to the pre-qualification questions on the Apply tab. Have you ever been convicted, received adjudication, community supervision, or deferred disposition for any offense by a court of appropriate jurisdiction? Have you ever held a license authorizing the practice of medicine subjected to discipline by a licensing agency in any state, federal, or foreign jurisdiction, excluding any action related to non-payment of fees related to a license? Have you ever had a controlled substance license or permit suspended or revoked by a state or the United States Drug Enforcement Administration? And are you under investigation by a licensing agency or law enforcement authority in any state, federal, or foreign jurisdiction? Earlier I mentioned if you answer in a way that disqualifies you, the application will stop. For demonstration purposes, I will answer yes to this question and attempt to proceed to the next page. At this point, the application is stopped. I'm being notified that the form could not be submitted for the following reasons. You are not qualified to proceed based on your answers to the 4 questions in the background section. At this point, if this was an error, I can go back, answer this correctly, and hit next to go to the next page. This page is your core data or your demographic information. Again, it contains your name and MPI number at the top of the screen. These addresses were entered into the system on the first page. At this point, if you have a correction to be made, you can do that here. If you didn't answer on page 1 the employer information, you will be asked to put your office or your work address into this field. The next question is, where do you wish to receive mail? At this point, you can select either your residential or your office address. This address will be used by the IMLC and your SPL to send documentation to you. From here, you'll enter your date of birth, again, free form, or you could use the calendar on the side. Your cell or best contact phone number, your gender, your office phone number, and your email address. This email address that you supply is the email address to which all correspondence from the IMLC and the member boards will be sent. Your state of principal licensure may require that you provide a personally identifiable email address, especially if you are entering a third party's email address into this field. And then finally, your social security number. If you are known by any other names, please enter those into this field. This is the affidavit and consent page. This is a legal agreement between you, your SPL, and the IMLC that is used to gather the information necessary to determine your qualification to use the IMLCC process. Your electronic signature here indicates that you have read and agree with these statements. So at this point, you will simply type your name into this field. And when you hit tab, it will pre-populate today's date for signature. By hitting next, you will be taken to the payment screen. At this point, you will be taken away from the IMLCC system to our payment vendor to make your payment. The IMLCC uses a third-party payment vendor in order to maintain security of your credit card information. To make the payment, click Pay Online. At this point, you'll enter your email address. This is where your payment receipt will be sent. Enter your credit card information. And the name on the card. And your zip code. Once you click the Pay button, this will take several seconds to actually process the payment. And once it's completed and you have that green check mark, you will be sent back to the IMLCC system. And once you receive this notification, thank you for applying through the Interstate Medical Licensure Compact. The state of principal license will contact you to give you instructions to obtain your fingerprints for a federal background check. Generally, within 7 to 10 business days, you will receive that notification from your SPL regarding any additional information that they require, as well as the information regarding your FBI fingerprint background check. Overall, this part of the application process can take up to 45 days for a final determination to be made. At this point in the process, your SPL is solely responsible for processing your application, and any questions or concerns should be addressed to your SPL. Further, you will also receive an email from the IMLCC acknowledging receipt of your application, along with a PDF copy of that application. The email itself will look like this, and it will acknowledge the IMLCC, receive the application fee of $700, and our payment vendor will send you a separate emailed receipt for that payment. This email will also contain a PDF copy of the application that you just submitted, along with all of your answers. At this point, if you have any questions, please contact your SPL. Thank you.